guys, I am back because there is a particular topic that I really want to talk about, and I keep, I don't know, playing it over and over in my head. How am I going to dive into all of this stuff that I've been wanting to talk about? Because I feel like there are several topics that kind of intersect and overlap. And if I just sat here and tried to talk about all of them, I might be sitting here for an hour or more. And I really want to be doing shorter videos. So it's almost like I have to just kind of touch the surface of them and hope that you guys kind of hang in there with me, or let me know if like a really long video wouldn't really bother you, if it was me, I don't know, feeling like I could dig deeper into a particular topic. So yeah, I don't know. I am wearing makeup today, and that I didn't put it on for you guys. Don't worry. I'm trying to be like, I don't know, not feeling like I have to put on makeup to film a video. No, it's because Tyler and I and his kids are going up to Julian for just some autumnal activity, like to spend kind of an autumn day up in Julian. And I don't know, I want to take pictures and I want to feel just kind of pretty and dolled up. So I put on makeup. All of that aside, I also want to just briefly say, and I'm going to try and say this in every video whenever I'm talking about body image or weight or anything like that, is that I am aware of my privilege in being a white woman, conventionally attractive, a smaller body, and I appear thin, I appear toned. I am aware that someone might look at me and be like, what is she even doing, talking about feeling bad about herself, wanting to lose weight, wanting to change my appearance in any way. Someone might be like, you have no right to talk about this because you are so lucky. Or the way I view it is, yes, I have this privilege. I carry this privilege, and it is hard for me to talk about this stuff, especially in just the day and age where we are, where I feel like people are trying to be, I hope people are trying to be more inclusive and also step back. Like people who do have this privilege, like myself, to step back and let people who have been constantly oppressed be able to step forward and speak their truth, and for us to listen and just be like, yeah, that is your experience, and just sit with that no matter how uncomfortable it makes us feel. So on the flip side of that, I almost feel like, oh, but does that mean I can't talk anymore? Does that mean I can't talk about my experience? I don't know. You tell me. I feel like I do want to use my voice, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm new to speaking in this space. And am I making sense? I feel like I'm not making sense to myself, because I'm trying, like, let's face it, I'm trying to not be racist, sexist, ableist. I don't know if bodyist is a word, but like I'm trying to come to you saying that I have inherent beliefs and I don't know, like things within me that if they come out, if I say something that I'm like, oh shit, is that problematic? Like, am I saying something problematic? Am I accidentally saying something racist? But having the space to point that out in myself if I notice it, and be like, I don't think I said that right, or I don't know, what am I trying to say? Can someone who maybe is more informed be like, you said that wrong, like you said that in a really shitty way, maybe you meant this. So I might not notice it too. I might say something problematic, and I want you to come to me in the comments and correct me, please. I really want that, truly, because I want to learn. So this is this big disclaimer. I'm gonna try and figure out how to say it in less than the 5 minutes that it took me to say that, and maybe you guys can help me. Because I do think that beauty standards and racism and sexism and ageism and all of that, it's like you can't just talk about one thing and not have it be imbued with all these other topics. I think that's what I'm trying to say, is because I'm going to be talking about this one thing, I can't isolate it from all the other topics that are really hard to talk about. Yeah, so anyway, just spent a good chunk of this video talking about that. But okay, what I want to talk about, pardon the siren. Anyway, I want to talk about kind of where I am right now a little bit with my eating disorder, my body image, kind of what's going on there, without getting too much into the history, because I could spend a whole video talking about the history of it and where I think it started and the journey I've been on. And yeah, but basically where I'm struggling right now is this feeling of, okay, I slip into bad habits that are fueled and motivated by what I know to be my eating disorder. Things like food restriction, over-exercising, constantly thinking about food, constantly planning out what I'm gonna eat, feeling like, oh, I can't eat that today because I didn't work out enough. Those things, constantly looking at my body in the mirror and doing like body checks and these things that, freaking loud ass trucks. Yeah, so these bad behaviors, these problematic behaviors, I find myself on the internet, like Googling images that I probably shouldn't be, that aren't good for me. But then I go back to, okay, but I kind of like where my body is right now. I kind of like how my body looks, but I don't necessarily like how I got there. So I'm not in this space where I'm feeling like I want to keep losing weight. I came to this place last week where I thought, you know what? I am not the weight that would be my goal weight, but I'm only a little bit above that. But I'm at a weight where I'm like, this is fine, because I almost feel like if I get to my goal weight again, that then it's like, well, I'd be afraid to gain any weight back. And where I am, I'm like, I don't want to gain weight. I'd be okay with losing weight, but if this is where my body is happy, not happy, I'm sure my body's not happy, but if this is my body, me not restricting as much, and I'm okay with how I look, then maybe I should stay here. So there's that's happening. So much of that is really shitty. Really shitty. I am not advocating for this way of thinking at all, because I hate how much I think about it. I hate it. It's on my mind. I don't even know what percentage of the day, but more than half of my waking hours, I'm thinking about food, my body, exercise, weight gain, weight loss, how I look, and then the tangential things like my skin, my hair, just my appearance. I'm constantly thinking about my appearance and wanting to control it. And control is another video I wanna do, because I think it's so connected to that, about me just wanting to be in control of everything, and my body is part of that. I want to have 100% complete control of my body, and that's literally not possible. It's not possible. And yet I try, because even the control that I am able to acquire it's comforting. It's comforting, and it also is exhausting. I don't know. And this video, I don't know if any of these videos are ever really going to come to a resolution. It's me just kind of trying to get my thoughts in order and sharing this experience, because maybe some of you are currently experiencing it, and God, it's really hard to talk about, and I don't want to cry because I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to put ideas into anyone's mind. So it's another thing that it makes it hard to talk about, because I don't want someone to watch this and be like, oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of trying that, and making their eating disorder worse. And eating disorders, so something I saw on Instagram recently, because I'm trying to follow a lot more recovery Instagrams and like body positive Instagrams and all of that. Someone said, don't use eating disorder trigger warning, or like ED trigger warning, because people with eating disorders are gonna look for that, and they're not gonna turn away if they see ED trigger warning. They will use it as a way to compare their eating disorder to your eating disorder. So some of you might be watching this and you have an eating disorder, and you are comparing your thoughts to my thoughts. You're comparing your behaviors to my behaviors, and maybe I'm doing something you hadn't thought of, and you're thinking, maybe I'll try that. And that makes me feel so bad. But I do it too. I do it too. And I've never gotten to a place with my eating disorder. It's almost like I think I have so much control over it. Like, but I'll never be like skin and bone. You know, I want to have muscle. I want to be eating enough where I feel strong. I don't think, I mean, I've fainted a couple times in my life, but I don't think they've ever had to do with because I was restricting so badly. They're weird fainting occurrences, but I've never taken it to the extreme. I don't think anyone's ever looked at me and immediately thought, she has an eating disorder. Like, I don't know. So I've never been treated for an eating disorder. I've seen therapists and brought it up in therapy, but I've never had like eating disorder treatment or an eating disorder diagnosis, which now that I'm in graduate school in the mental health profession, and I know actually how damaging diagnoses can be, and how in a lot of fields in the mental health profession, they actually discourage the use of diagnoses. So the fact that I've never been diagnosed with an eating disorder doesn't mean that I don't have one. And even the DSM, I think we're on the DSM-5, which is the, what is it, diagnostic manual. What does the S stand for? I should know this shit. Anyway, it has expanded the types of eating disorders that exist, which is good, I guess, because it has an awareness of the different manifestations of it, but still putting people into boxes and ticking boxes like, oh, you don't have an eating disorder unless you meet these criteria, whatever that manifestation of the eating disorder is. I don't know. Again, I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say, but I think bringing it back to, I've always felt like I was in control of it enough not to take it to the extreme. Like, I've never been below 100 pounds, you know, like since aging, like past that, whenever the last time I was in the double digits. So I've never taken it to that extreme. I've wanted it, not gonna lie, briefly every so often. And then I think, well, that's silly, because back to the fact where I wanna have muscle, I wanna be strong, I wanna be able to go do my workouts, because I love a lot of the workouts I do. I truly love cycle. I have never fallen in love with a form of exercise more than my spin class in my neighborhood. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you know I love cycle, and I go there almost every day. So that becomes, it's like this line, this fine fucking line of, am I over exercising? What is the purpose of exercising? When does me going to cycle become me forcing myself to go because I want to burn a certain amount of calories so that I can eat a certain amount of food. It's just, yeah. But then I think where I really want to get to, the point I really want to hit in this video is it's okay. I'm going to keep going with this sentence. It's okay to want to exercise and eat healthy to maintain a healthy body weight and healthy functioning of your organs and all of that. So much of what I'm saying, I'm hearing myself, I'm saying this so slowly, and I'm hearing certain things where I'm like, is it though? Is it? And then also, what is a healthy body weight? What does it mean to have a healthy functioning body? And what the fuck does that have to do with how you look? I don't know. I don't know. And it's really hard. And how much of this has been fed to us, forced down our fucking throats from society, and who decided and why, and all the pain that it causes. It makes me want to fucking like flip a fucking table over. It makes me angry, and then I also love it. That's my brain. Because some of the, I think, common personality characteristics of people with eating disorders is perfectionism, feeling like you need to be in control. Those two things, the fact that I can take those two things and just like, ooh, my body, what can I control? Because the whole world sometimes feels like it's burning down around us, especially in 2020. What can I control? I cannot control when the pandemic ends. I can't control who's going to be elected president in a week and a half, 2 weeks. I have no control over that. I can't control my future. I can't really control my relationships. What can I control? What do I have the most control of in this world? And that is me and my body, and what I eat, what I do with my body physically, how my body looks, my hair color, my hair length, my dental hygiene, my sleep. What can I control? And how perfectly can I control it? And how perfect can I make myself appear to the world so that I get praise and validation? And why do I need praise and validation so much? And of course, that probably, it has to, goes back to my childhood. And I'm on a whole journey with that too, like with my relationship with my mom. And I had come to a place of not blaming her for things, and then I like regressed and mentally started blaming her for everything. And now I'm back to like, no, I am gonna be a marriage and family therapist. I need to get this shit together. Control my thoughts. Like now I have to control my thoughts. I need to get this shit together because I cannot have these beliefs about my family and myself and expect then to treat families with neutrality. Now I feel like I'm really going all over the place, but yes, the desire for praise and validation. I mean, I'm not to blame my mom or my dad or my stepdad or anyone. So it's not their fault. It's not their fault. They were doing the best they can. So let me say that. But I didn't get a lot of praise and validation. I was expected to perform highly. I was expected to do well in school, to behave, follow the rules, follow the laws, be a good daughter, be a good big sister. I had these expectations. So I didn't hear anything about how I was doing unless I didn't meet the expectations. I only ever heard criticism from kind of extreme to very, very minor. But even it's almost like the many, many minor little criticisms, even joking sort of criticisms, are so much more damaging than one or two big criticisms. That's a general statement, so I could totally be wrong for that. But from my experience, I would think it's these little tiny criticisms sprinkled throughout my childhood that become the voice in my head, that self-critic. Again, and I'll finish that little note with my parents, my stepdad, everyone did the best they could under the circumstances. Yeah, and I can talk about that in another video, but it doesn't change the fact that I think it has a lot to do with what I struggle with. And I am a generally high-performing person. I have the highest standards for myself, and my standards for others are lower, but still high. I have high expectations of people, and it makes me really judgmental. Judgmentalism, being judgmental, is a whole other video that I would really like to do, because that's something I'm hardcore struggling with. As I've gotten older, I've noticed flaws in myself. I remember first realizing, like, oh my gosh, I'm really impatient. I'm a very impatient person, and that's become sort of my little joke for myself. Like, I'm the most impatient person you will ever meet, and then people are like, but you're so patient. I'm like, maybe at work with your kids, sure. Like, you're literally paying me to be patient. I'm gonna be patient. But in my own life, I am so impatient. Things take so long, and I can't wait any longer for things. So I remember realizing how impatient I was, and then recently I'm realizing how judgmental I am, and I don't like it. I don't like that about myself, and it does come back to my body. I feel like so much comes back to my body, but that's not even the root. It's just a symptom. I don't know. All right, so I think I need to end this here, because I feel like I just fell down a mountain. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot. And I don't want to edit this too much. So, okay, you guys. I don't even know how to end this. If you watched this whole thing, thank you for sticking with me, and golly, please comment down below your thoughts, because I really want to know, especially if I said something that was problematic. I really want to know. I want to do better. I don't want to be afraid to put myself in these situations for fear of criticism. It's all connected, you guys. It's all connected. I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to appear like I'm not saying things perfectly, but I'm never going to say things perfectly. I'm always going to offend someone. Just know it's not my intention, and I want to do better. My camera cut me off. The camera's like, shut the fuck up. I really want to do better. I do. So please correct me. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on anything that I've said. Yeah, let's have a discussion. And if there's anything I touched on in this video where you're like, oh, I want you to talk more about that, then let me know and I will do that. So I'm not even gonna ask you to like thumbs up or subscribe, because I don't give a fuck. So all right. Tyler's gonna be picking me up hopefully in an hour or less. So yeah, and I'm gonna have a good day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Oh, I'm Heather, by the way. Bye.